Okay, so apparently Gypsy posted a novel on her TikTok. So I heard about it, I went and looked, and here it is. I have not read it yet, so this is going to be a blind reading, and you're going to hear my actual reaction. It's long as fuck, it's kind of little, so bear with me. So Gypsy writes, my response to those who invalidate my abuse as a trauma survivor. Dun dun dun. I want to take a moment to acknowledge I am a controversial topic and why some on social media invalidate my trauma. My mother had never been formally diagnosed with Munchausen by proxy. However, experts strongly believe that with all the warning signs, she had undiagnosed Munchausen by proxy. Munchausen by proxy, or another term, fictitious disorder and malingering. She had often lied about my health and manipulated everyone around her, including doctors and family. The truth is, most of the surgeries and medications I went through were unnecessary. Not according to your microdeletion, which every surgery you had lines up with the symptoms of your microdeletion, Gypsy. Not according to that, and not according to your medical documents, which we have, because your stepmother, Christy, gave them to the public. Well, actually gave them to Fancy, who then gave them to the public. Over the past decade, my story has been told across countless media outlets and in my memoir. Oh God, her memoir. Give me a break. You didn't even write that thing. You didn't even write it yourself, Gypsy. Yes, there are small inconsistencies in many interviews and documentaries and a scripted drama series that altogether had many over-dramatized and inaccurate details. That is what happens when information from others, family, friends, co-authors, gets mixed in with my own memories. This is oversight. Oh, this oversight will be corrected in the reprint of my memoir, My Time to Stand. So you're telling me you're going to come out with yet another reprint of this book and change your story again? And it's not other people that got it wrong, Gypsy. It's you. It's you in different interviews that tell a different story every time. My God, girl. My God. When I said on Dr. Phil that I could, quote, lie without a conscience, I meant that my mother taught me to lie, to pretend everything was fine at home, to cover up what was really happening. That's what abusers do. They train their victims to survive through silence and performance. Never once did I think, when expressing that people would ever invalidate my trauma and further claim that I was a willing participant in her con. Girl, you flat out said that you were an excellent liar and you lie about everything. Your story changes all the time and you expect us not to call you out on the fact that you're lying? Hello? Even if someone doubts the medical abuse, please understand there were many other forms of abuse. It's not normal for a mother to, now she has a bullet list, bind her 14-year-old daughter's chest. Whoa, 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 that's a new one. Girl, is your chest really bound? Because, I don't know, I'm not believing it. I'm not believing it. Let me know in the comments. Do you believe it? I've never heard that one before. I've never once heard her say that her mom bound her chest. Never. Anyway, moving on. Keep her from attending a formal education and cease all homeschooling after the second grade. Okay, that one, yeah, her mom definitely should have had her in school. I'll give her that one. Her mom should have had her in school, but maybe she just, was so busy with all the doctor's appointments because her health really was that bad. But no, yeah, her mom should have had her in school. That's the one thing I'll give her so far. You got me on that one, Gypsy. Let me know in the comments if you disagree, though, because I'm totally open to hearing what you guys have to say. Impersonate her child slash daughter on Facebook put to manipulate her daughter's father. Um, okay. I think she did answer for Gypsy sometimes, but it was like to get Gypsy out of jams that she got herself into. Like Gypsy sent nudes to her dad and her sister. So Dee Dee went on as Gypsy to help explain the situation because Gypsy was a sicko who did these disgusting things and her mom freaked out and was like, oh my God, I have to fix this. So she covered for her, just like when Gypsy shot her mother with a BB gun, a pew pew. She made up that fake story at the emergency room. She made up a story that she was mugged in a Walmart parking lot, and we all know that's not true. She covered for Gypsy once again. It was your mom was always covering for you. Okay. Threatened that, quote, the boogeyman, aka CPS, would take her away for misbehaving, placing fear into her child from a young age. Once again, never heard that one, never heard that story before. CPS went to your house, Gypsy. All you had to do was open your damn mouth, but you didn't. Use manipulation tactics such as triangulation, oh God, such as triangulation, stonewalling, and verbal abuse, leaving long lasting trust issues. So, is that why you do triangulation too? Because we all know how big you are on triangulation. We all know about that. So, is that why you do it too? Forge medical and government documents to alter personal information, including last name and even year of birth, all to create an quote eternal child for her own financial gain and emotional control. Gypsy, need I remind you that you also did that? In the interrogation room after you were arrested, how did you spell your last name? It was the first time you said it, you said Blanchard. And the second time you said Blanchard. So skip me with that bullshit. Those things happened and they're not normal. I also want to clarify something that is often misunderstood. We know this, Gypsy. I do have a chromosomal condition called a microdeletion on 1q21.1. We know that. We know. I have been open about this and included it in my memoir. This genetic variation was even considered during my court proceedings. Some people online assume that because I have this microdeletion, all of the surgeries and medications I received must have been medically necessary, but that's not true. Okay, Gypsy, let's see what else you gotta say about this, because I call bullshit. While 1q21.1 microdeletion can be associated with certain traits, such as a smaller head size, check, mild developmental delays, check, strabismus, check, or distinct facial features, check, 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 check. I have been evaluated by a genetic specialist who explained that I exhibit very few of the possible medical issues linked to this condition, but you had all of those that you just listed. Every single one you just listed, you have. Despite that, my mother repeatedly told doctors that I have severe illnesses, muscular dystrophy, epilepsy, hearing loss, asthma, leukemia, even cancer and paralysis. Okay, so let's go over this for a second. Okay, so when she was telling the doctors those things, first of all, it's not like she could just be like, oh, my daughter has this, and they're going to be like, oh, she does? Great. We're not going to do any tests to see if she has it. We're just going to take your word for it. That's not how it works, and we all know that. We've all been to a doctor before. And when she thought you had muscular dystrophy, it's because you had not been diagnosed yet with the microdeletion. Same thing with the leukemia. I mean, there's been like reports coming out that you actually may have had cancer as a kid. I'm not 100% on that, but there's been some things coming out recently that you actually may have. But regardless, there's a type of anemia linked to your specific chromosomal deletion that links to leukemia. So if your mom thought that, it's because once again, she didn't know that you had the microdeletion yet because the test for it wasn't a thing yet. So weren't diagnosed with it yet. So all of this is just more of your bullshit, basically. Epilepsy, you did have as a kid, you ded have seizures, so I don't know why you even in your video that you made, you said that I'm not even, whatever, but you did have seizures as a kid. And the paralysis, that was you pretending to be paralyzed according to your own words. Like, what? Okay, anyway, the diagnosis changed from hospital to hospital depending on what she told them. Unfortunately, many doctors took her word at face value and recorded those claims in my medical chart, creating a false and misleading medical history that does not reflect my true health today. Okay, Gypsy, so if that's true, then why haven't you sued any of them? Huh? Why haven't you gone after them legally? Because you're full of shit, and you even said yourself that no lawyer would touch it. Why? Because there was no malpractice. No doctor is just gonna, if my mom walked in to a doctor's office when I was a kid and was like, she has leukemia, what do you think they would do? They would run fucking tests to see if I had leukemia. They're not just gonna be like, oh, okay, Haiti Joyless's mom, you say she has leukemia, so we're gonna write that down as a fact now. That does not happen. It does not happen. And you're not like the special case where that you slip through the cracks. You slip through the cracks with the school, and that's pretty much it. I apologize if my story hasn't always sounded 100% consistent. I've been piecing my life together, learning what was real and what was a lie told by my mother. That's part of healing from trauma. Memory changes over time, especially when therapy helps turn painful memories into distant ones. Sounds like someone else. Anyway, it hurts when people call me a liar or say my entire story is false. I'm still uncovering truths about my past, even now. My inconsistencies are not deceit. They're the byproduct of surviving and then untangling years of manipulation. Give me a fucking break. You can't expect someone who lived through the psychological and medical abuse to recall every event perfectly, especially after 10 years of processing it publicly. As long as you were out in the media every fucking day. You had 8.5 years behind bars, girl. Plenty of time to process. The truth is, I'm still healing at my own pace. I can't live by what others demand of me. Some want me to be an advocate, others want to judge me. I can only live my life, continue to heal, and tell my truth as I remember and learn it. All I ask for is people to show understanding and compassion. Abuse changes your perception of right and wrong. It shapes how you see the world and yourself. My story is one of survival, not perfection. If you are reading this and you are one of those individuals who invalidate me, to you I ask, would you still feel the same if I had died and my mother had lived? Okay, so let's just say that was that let's just say that happened. If you had died and your mother had lived, then we wouldn't be where we are now, and we probably wouldn't know things that actually happened. Your mom was never going to kill you. Your mom's goal was never to kill you. Your mom was trying to help you the whole time. So you were never at risk of dying unless she didn't get you the help that you actually needed. Like, does that make sense? Do you comprehend that in that small head of yours? Seriously asking. So that would have never happened. So it's a scenario that you're just saying to try and manipulate people. And that's kind of gross. That's really gross. Ew. Over the last decade, my story has been told in many ways. Yeah, because you keep changing the story. Have you ever heard of a telephone game? It's when one person tells another person something, who then tells someone else, who tells someone else, who tells someone else. And by the time you get to the last person, the story has changed entirely. Okay, but it's your fucking story. I think you should know your own story, don't you? And in capital letters, that is what happened on social media to my life story and my entire existence in my daily life. Oh my God, you need to learn when to capitalize, girl. Throughout the last decade, many content creators have made video after video, rumor after rumor, until I have become someone else entirely in the minds of some. And to others, I have grown far beyond their expectations and continue to overcome trauma as a survivor. Oh, God, give me a break. Let my story be a cautionary tale of what happens when a perfect storm meets a dormant volcano waiting to erupt. Let my story be a lesson to every victim of Munchausen by proxy that this is their time to stand, in capital letters. Advocate for more education in hospitals and affordable or free therapy to survivors and harsher penalties for abusers. Advocacy starts with the voice. Signed, Gypsy Rose Blanchard. Gypsy Rose Blanchard. Okay. Okay, I shouldn't be laughing because I know she was trying to be serious, but what a joke. What a joke. Girl, you're not going to change our minds. We've seen everything. We've FOIA'd your emails. We FOIA'd your jailhouse calls. We have your medical records. We know it all, girl. This little novel you wrote, it's not going to change our minds. We know you're a liar. We know you lied about everything. And that's that. And I think we should take a poll. How long do you think before she deletes this? Remember that whole long ass video she made about her micro deletion too? That didn't last very long either. I guarantee you this will not last a week. Let me know how long you guys think it's gonna last. And let me know what you think about this ridiculous post of hers in the comments. I didn't even mean for this to be a whole video, but she wrote a fucking novel, so I'm at 15 minutes already. So it's gonna be a whole fucking video. Oop, just got a text. Okay. I love you all. And like, comment, subscribe, do all the YouTubey things. And I'll see you next one. Bye.